In this tutorial we are going to make a bookmark using the moss stitch. So the first thing we're going to do is make a slip knot. So wrap the yarn around your finger, go under this bit, pull this bit, but don't pull it all the way out, just to make a loop. And then what we need to do is chain 10. So remember to chain, you wrap and pull, 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 wrap and pull. And then what we're going to do is we are going to do a single crochet in every single stitch along. If you wanted to use this stitch to make a blanket, that is possible, but you would need to do an even chain. So whether that's 100, 200, it would have to be even. Okay, and the amount of single crochets that go in on the next row would have to be odd. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a single in every single stitch along. So we're going to poke, wrap, pull through both. 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 This is your single crochet. Remember, I use American terms, so we're going to do a single crochet in the last stitch. And then what we're going to do is we are going to chain 2. Now remember, a chain is a wrap and pull, so that's 2. Then what we're going to do is we are going to skip this first stitch and we're going to do a single crochet into this second stitch. So remember, a single crochet is poke, wrap, pull through 2. Now what we're going to do is chain 1. So we're going to wrap and pull. Then we're going to skip this stitch and we're going to do a single crochet into the next stitch. And then we are going to chain 1, so wrap and pull. And then we're going to skip this stitch and we're going to do a single into the next stitch. And then we're going to do a chain 1. And then we're going to skip this stitch and we're going to do a single into the next stitch. And then we're going to chain 1. And we are going to do a single into this chain down here. Okay, get off. And then you're going to chain 2. So remember, wrap and pull. Then you are going to turn. Now you will see you've got a stitch and a stitch. All these V's are stitches, but we are going to go into the chain space between the stitches. So the chain space, if you stretch it, looks like a little square just in there. And then you are going to do your single crochet and you are going to chain 1. And then you're going to do another single crochet. We're going to skip this stitch and we're going to go into the square bit between the V's. And we're going to single crochet, then chain 1. And then we're going to go into the chain space again and we're going to do a single crochet. And then we're going to chain 1. And then we're going to skip this stitch and we're going to go in between the stitches again. And we're going to do a single crochet and a chain 1. And this pattern is the same on every row, okay? So we're going to go in between there and we're going to do a single crochet. Then we're going to do a chain 1. And then we're going to go into the chain down here with a single crochet. And then we're going to chain 2. So at the end of every row, you have to go into the last stitch with a single crochet and then you're going to chain 2. Then you're going to turn and then your first single crochet is going to be in this chain space, so between the V's. Okay, so into there, that's your single crochet. Then you are going to chain 1. You're going to go into your next chain space, so between the V's, and we're going to do this until our bookmark is the size that we would like it. Now when you have got it as long as you would like it, what we do is we can just do one chain, turn, and then we are going to single crochet in every stitch and chain space. So the first stitch is here, and then the chain space is here, and then the next stitch is there, and the chain space is there. And then I think it looks pretty cool if you put a little border on it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to fasten off with the white, and I think I might put some, maybe some yellow around it. That would look quite cool, wouldn't it? I am going to start in this very first stitch up here, and I'm going to attach my green. So I'm literally going to make a loop. I'm going to pop the loop on the end of the hook, and then I'm going to hold this piece of yarn over the top so we can crochet over it, and I'm going to chain one, and then I'm going to put 3 single crochets into this corner space. So that's 1, 2 and 3, and then in every stitch along I'm going to do 1 single crochet. When you have sufficiently crocheted this green in, you can just snip it off. Don't snip the stitch though. And then in this corner space we are going to put 3 singles. This is how you go round a corner when you're bordering. You put 3 singles in there. We are also going to hold this tail out of the, like over the top, so we can crochet over it. And we're going to evenly space our stitches down the side now. So I'm going to pop 1 in there, and then I'm going to see there's a hole there, so I'm going to pop 1 in there, and a hole there, so we'll pop 1 in there, and I'm going to do this all the way down, okay? Hole there, so pop 1 in there. Let's give that a little pull, and then I'm going to go into this hole. Then I'm probably going to snip the white off now because it's been crocheted over long enough. Right, so let's snip that white off. You don't have to give it a border, it doesn't really matter. I just like it to have a border, especially something like a bookmark. But I will see you when we get to the next corner. Right, now we are back to the corner, look, and this is where we have to work through our chain spaces. So we are going to put 3 singles into this corner. It's a bit of a big corner, this one. We're also going to crochet over that white end again. Oh, sorry, off the camera. So I'm going to go through there. I'm going to make sure that is over there though. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Then you've got 8 in here. I'm going to churn this one into the corner. So we're going to put 3 singles into this corner again. 1, 2 and 3. What we can do is we can snip the white off now because we've carried that for a long time. So we're going to snip that off. Make sure you don't snip any of the green off though. And then we're going to evenly crochet along the side again, okay? So just find the holes and pop a single crochet in there, and I'll meet you when we get to the top. Sorry, I'm going to slip stitch into this first single of the corner. So we're just going to poke, yarn over, pull, and then this loop is going to go through this loop like that. Okay, then what we're going to do is snip this tail off, and we are going to pull the tail through the loop on the hook that fastens it off. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go through this loop here, and then we're going to go through the cluster of the corner. So we go through all of these stitches down here. It is not going to be an easy job, but we do have to do it because hopefully they're quite tight. And then we're going to go through some, and then it's going to come out, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the last stitch that it's gone through to anchor. Give it a bit of a pull. So this is the last stitch that has come through, so we're not going to go back through that one. We're going to go over the top of that one. We're going to go back through the other stitches. Should be a bit easier on the way back because you sort of made a bit of a channel. So then just pull it through, and then when it's through you can just snip it off, and that is your moss stitch bookmark.